Go.
Ready, go. Okay. Well, I first of all just have to tell you that we have the coolest job on the planet because it is the most flexible in the world. I'm just walking in the store from grocery shopping. I hopped on my phone. So here's the deal. We're going to cover several different topics today. So I'm just going to keep my part really quick. I'm going to second. There we go. So I can see a few more people. I'm seeing somebody's phone sign, like it's just the picture of their phone. Okay. I am going to talk about for just a few minutes the importance of why we need to continue to add to our network. Okay. And then Brenna's going to cover how. We're going to talk a little about Instagram, free groups. We're going to cover some really good stuff, especially coming into the very end of the year. So here's what I have found and what we have all found in our businesses. When you think about posting on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you have to remember that a very small percentage of the people that are in your network are actually seeing your posts. And a lot of us think that we are annoying people because we are posting like consistently. And here's oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So a lot of people think that it's like I'm annoying people. Everybody's seeing everything I post and it's really driving them crazy. So first of all, a small percentage of the people that you are actually friends with are seeing your stuff. And then the other thing you have to remember is you you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Okay? And this is what I mean by that. You are showing the people that are your friends your story, your journey. And to be honest, a lot of what we do is a lot of the same kind of things, right? We're doing we're working out every day. We're drinking Shakeology every day. We're trying to eat clean every day. And if you aren't adding to your network, you are going to find that you are not going to be finding new people to join you on the journey because people take their time doing it. You cannot force anybody to do it. And if you only have that core, your very small core group of friends that are on your friends list, that's the only people that are going to keep seeing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And not until they are ready are they going to jump in. So you have to keep adding to your network. And I decided that I needed to share this mostly because there have been months in my business when I wasn't consistent with adding to my network. And now I am seeing that I've hit a total and complete wall, you guys. And it's because I quit adding to my network consistently. Because it takes time. It takes time for people to trust you. It takes time for them to see your journey, especially if they're not people that you know personally. Sorry, I gotta stir my daughter's ramen noodles. But if they're not seeing you show up consistently, then they are not going to trust you. And so you've got to add new people consistently so that new people can see your thing, like so that you always have new people that will be ready to join you after you build your relationships with them, after you show them that you're still consistent on your journey. Does that make sense? Anybody? Thumbs up. Yeah. So that's why it's important, because a very small person will see your posts in the first place. And second of all, you don't want the same people over and over and over again to see your posts. You need to be adding new people to see you, to get to know you, and to get to know them so that you can reach out to different people and help them. That is my spiel. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. I hope you guys, can you hear me okay? Because the internet here isn't super fabulous. Okay. If something happens, I can turn off the Wi-Fi and you won't be able to see me, but at least you'll be able to hear me. So, I'm just talking about the how of adding to your network. So it's nothing crazy, hopefully, for you guys, because Sue's already talked about the why. So when it's time for you to add to your network, I won't say anything that Sue's already said. I just will say amen, because amen. When you're going to add people to your network, you want to make sure that it's people that you actually want to be friends with. I remember on the National Wake Up Call, she said last week, it's okay for you to add people that you want to help and to not add people that you don't want to help, because there's someone else out there who's a coach who will want to help the person that you don't want to help. So you don't need to feel guilty or whatever by not adding someone. just because they don't look like your target market, if that makes sense. So just make sure that you are adding the people that you want to be friends with and that you want to have in your life and that you want to help, because someone else will help the people that aren't really your target market. So when you're going to add people, I'm just going to share what I do, and then you can take what you like and leave what you don't. I have a dream team list of people that I would absolutely die if they joined my team, if they were a coach, if they were going to change the world with me. And off of that dream team list, I go to those people that are on my dream team and I add their friends, because I figure if I like that person enough for them to be on my dream team list, I want to be friends with the people that they are friends with. And I make sure that we have mutual friends. I personally make sure we have at least 20 mutual, whoa, my phone fell. I personally make sure that we have at least 20 mutual friends, because to me that tells me, okay, not only are they friends with this person that I love, but they're also friends with other people that I'm friends with. So one, they're more likely to accept my friend request. And two, they're more likely to be someone that I actually want to get to know. So that's one way that I add friends, is people from my dream team list, people that I'm friends with. I never, ever, ever go to my coaches. Obviously, my coaches are my dream team, right? But I never go to my coaches' pages and add their friends, because then I'm like stealing their customers, right? Potentially. So make sure you don't do it from your coaches' people. And then if the person that's on my dream team list actually becomes a part of my coaching thing, then I stop adding from their network, if that makes sense. Then another way that I do it, I am a part of a whole bunch of Facebook groups. So like with my son, I was a part of hypnobirthing. I tried hypnobirthing, and so I go to the Hypnobirthing Utah page that I'm on Facebook, and I'll add people from there, because I figure, one, if they're Hypnobirthing Utah, one, that means they live in Utah. Two, that means they're interested in unmedicated childbirth. Three, they're a mom. So that gives us three things automatically in common, right? And again, I make sure that we have at least 20 mutual friends, so that it's not like, hi, we have one mutual friend and it's a hypnobirthing person and you have no idea who I am and no reason to accept my request, so that it's not weird, right? And then I'm like a part of like Lehigh High School alumni, 2009, whatever. I will go to that page and, hello, we went to high school together. We graduated the same year, so we should be friends, right? And I add people from there. I go to like religious groups that I'm a part of, same thing, 20 mutual friends, add them from there. That's typically how I do it. And I personally, thanks to Ashley's Power Hour that she did with the Success Club call last month with Jalen, I personally add 25 people a day. I used to only add 5, but not all 5 would accept, and I was running out of people really quick. And a lot of people, I just ran out of people like a few months ago. And so I started doing the 25 things, because then I don't know the percentage of people who actually accept, but it's helped my interaction on my posts a lot to add more people. And then I also, I have an assistant, but you don't have to have an assistant to do this. When they accept, I write them down on a list. I keep track of who accepted my friend requests, so that those are people that I go and build relationships with when I'm doing my Power Hour and doing connections with people, so that I'm building relationships with new people. More people are seeing my stuff. New people are seeing my stuff, kind of a thing. And then just make sure once a week you're deleting all your outgoing friend requests, because if you have a bazillion friend requests that are outgoing and a whole bunch of people have not accepted, Facebook will think you're a weirdo and they can freeze your account. So make sure that you just make it a habit at least once a week. Ashley said she did it twice a week, and that's fine too. But I just tell my assistant once a week, just make sure that you delete all the outgoing requests. And so she just does it every Friday, and she leaves 20, like the most recent 20 that I sent, just in case I added them that day. And then the next Friday she'll go and delete all of them except for the most recent 20, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all I had. I think Nikki is up next.
I'm going to jump in really fast. I do exactly like what Bryn said about cleaning out the friends list, except I clean mine out Monday morning before I start adding for the week, so that I don't have to do the 20 thing, because I've noticed they don't stay in the right order. So there's people that I had just friend requested that I was deleting if I was doing it that way. So just if you're looking for another way to make sure you're deleting, but you're not deleting new people, that's how I do mine, is I just wake up Monday morning and delete all the outgoing and then start requesting for the week. So that's how I do mine. Okay, go for it, Nikki.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Instagram and just something that's been working for me recently to get some more engagement and attention. So we've all heard national wake-up calls, all kinds of trainings, you know, hashtags are super important. Figuring out what your niche market is really, really important. But it doesn't have to be super complicated, and it can be something that's very broad almost, but you can make it more specific. So for example, I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, but I'm also medication free. So I've used both of those ideas to figure out ways to look up hashtags and find people. And then this has brought people, you know, I just start following them as long as I look through and they look like somebody who's not, you know, crazy or whatever. And it's brought a lot of people to DM me on Instagram, which Instagram was like dead for me. Facebook has always been my golden child. So Instagram is kind of a new area for me to play. And it's brought a lot of attention to the fact that I'm medication free. People are curious, and it makes people want to know like what I'm doing and all of that, and wondering how I can work out all these things, right? Now, you might not have rheumatoid arthritis, and that's fine. Maybe you're a mom. I am not a mom. I have a dog. So, you know, there's that part. Like I've searched chocolate lab, and that has been a way to connect with people. There are so many different things about each of us individually that we can go and find a hashtag for. And there's literally a hashtag for everything. And you just kind of have to start loving on people and really asking questions, and then you can take it to a place where you can message or they will message you, because people are curious, and Instagram seems to be a lot friendlier than Facebook. So that's kind of how I have figured out, you know, the niche market on Instagram. Also, along the same lines of that, understand that you can do a really generic hashtag like hashtag rheumatoid arthritis, right? But then there's other aspects of that. Like people have started doing a hashtag for rheumatoid disease, because this is a big thing that they think is a huge disease, or invisible illness, or all these different avenues. And how I found those was simply by being snoopy on the people that had the rheumatoid arthritis hashtag. So take a little extra time, go in and start snooping, and then make a list of hashtags you can find to even open up the avenue of more people that you could possibly follow, okay? And then I'm going to talk about inviting in December. So I think a lot of us get excited about the new year, and we think, okay, let's just chill until January, because we know that people are going to totally jump on board January 1st, right? People want to get healthy. That's an automatic, like super easy. And November and December can be kind of tough in our way of thinking, but they don't have to be tough. And December is really not that tough. When I look back at my business, December has been one of my better months for this time of year specifically, consistently over the past 2 years of me being a coach. So what I like to do is really go back, and this is going to require you to have been kind of organized throughout your year, but really go back and look at your trackers, look at your, whatever you use, your streak, whatever it is, and go back to every person that you've ever invited and invite them to something else. So you can bring up a free group. Like, for example, I just created a free clean cookie swap. And I'm just going to offer clean cookie recipes, teach people a little bit about alternative ingredients, because I'm a baker and that's kind of my deal. But it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, make it fun, make it something that's a little more lighthearted, so people don't feel so, like, you know, told what to do during the holidays. People want to still enjoy their holidays, but they also want to get healthy, and we have to find the balance of how to kind of share that with them in order for them to make that move and actually want to do something. So I go back and I will invite, and this is my process right now, inviting all the people that have shown interest, that have ignored me, that have, you know, done free groups with me over the whole year. Even past customers that maybe fell off, those people can re-engage, and you can easily, you know, hook them back up with Shakeology or an entire channel, whatever it is, okay? And you're really starting that now to just get that ball rolling, so that as soon as Christmas hits, you hit it as hard as you can. And you really do have to take the time from the 26th until the end of the year. Like, it is your business on fire. You cannot be slow about it. You have to just be all in at that point. And that is really where so much is created. That last week of the year, if you can really do this through this whole month, your momentum going into 2018 is going to be insane. Your January will be set up. You will trickle into February and March because you've been talking to so many people. So understand that it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, don't get overwhelmed and feel like you don't have a challenge group to actually put them in, or, you know, whatever. Let that just mellow and just really go in. And if you guys listen to the National Wake Up Call, he talked about it. He did the voice messaging and, you know, just kind of went back and talked to people about 80 Day Obsession and if they wanted to hook back up with, you know, a program and getting ready for January. What I really like about December is to take the pressure off of people. You can invite to January already right now and just say, hey, I'm reserving spots for my January group. I wanted to see, you know, if you were open, if you had any goals that you wanted to hit, all of those things. Make it really simple, but make it about them and make it seem less pressure for Christmas, because ultimately you're going to follow back up with every single person that you invite starting on the 26th. And you're creating your list for that follow-up list, which is your golden list right now. So that's kind of how I do my December in a nutshell. I don't know who's next.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, so to kind of just follow up with, you know, everything that has been said, sometimes people get intimidated by inviting in December because, you know, people don't have a ton of money all the time. They're buying Christmas and it's stressful, and, you know, usually a lot of times people feel like crap, but their health gets put on the back burner because of everything else going on, especially moms. And so a good way to continue showing up in your journey and showing people, you know, your positive light by sharing your personal development, sharing your journey and how you're getting through the holidays healthier, by what we do as coaches, and, you know, showing up to your at-home workouts. You don't have to drive out in the snow to get to the gym. You don't have to bundle all your kids up to get to the gym, and just showing up every single day, sharing parts of your journey. It doesn't have to be perfect. We've talked about that. You can still enjoy the holidays too, but you're setting yourself up for a better January by showing up and sharing that with people so that they remember your face when the holidays are over and they feel like crap. They're going to be like, okay, if she could do that during the holidays, I want her to be my coach. And so there's a couple ways of doing that. Obviously, sharing on your personal page, sharing your struggle, sharing the good and the bad throughout your weeks or whatever, if you made good choices, whatever it is, but also doing it with your free groups. Ashley, I don't know if everyone went and watched Ashley's video on our team page about how she's been killing all of her groups lately because of her free groups that she has built so much momentum on. If you didn't watch that, go watch it. But basically creating value for people. You want to show up and be a positive light and create value, whatever that may be. Sharing a healthy recipe maybe that you took to a holiday party that everybody loved. Right now, my team is doing the Light the World Challenge through Mormon.org. And we just created a group for everyone to be able to share their little acts of service, to give ideas, because we wanted to be able to incorporate service and the true meaning of Christmas throughout the month and give back. And so just simple things like that. I know Ashley's doing the 30 days closer to Christ. Those things have nothing to do with health and fitness, but it gives you a way of building those relationships with people that maybe you don't know very well, that they can see how you give content in a group, that you're compassionate and you want to help people. And that's a way to build those relationships. Like we said before, I want to say like more than half the people in the Light the World Challenge that I'm doing, I went on like a LDS moms thing. I'm not friends with a whole bunch of them. So that was an easy way to add to my network. Because I encourage them to share with their friends. and their family so that they were adding people in. I have a Disneyland group because I love Disneyland, and we just share tips and tricks, and people ask questions in there all the time, and I can add people to my network from that because they see my face in there. So just remember, no matter what you're doing, that throughout this month, I work retail, and anyone who works retail during the holidays, you hate people during Christmas. And a lot of people hate Christmas because of the hustle and bustle. It's busy, people are mean, and they're not paying attention to their surroundings. Be a light to people wherever you are. Say hi to people, be nice, be kind, compliment people, and show people that you are a caring person. That alone gives you a better attitude about the holidays, and you're going to show up in your posts, and you're going to show up in people's feed as someone to look up to, and someone that, okay, whatever she's doing, I need that in my life. And so that is, I think, a huge, 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 huge thing during December, because not everyone has really great Christmases. Not everyone feels that light all the time. And so be that light to other people. And that's all I have to say.
Amen. 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 Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I am so proud of us, guys. That was like the fastest team call we've ever had. We like busted through that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or want any specifics? I like totally feel that we need to have Nikki do a training for us all about hashtags and Instagram, and we may have to have that coming down the pipeline because I need all the help with Instagram I can get, because Facebook is my golden child, Instagram is not. So yeah, Nikki, we need to talk about that. But okay, does anybody have any questions about anything? Tiffany, glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, we'll definitely have Nikki do something about hashtags. Okay. Okay, for real on the free groups thing, I cannot recommend what Sharon said enough. It does not have to be about health and fitness. Obviously, it doesn't hurt to have your free group that you're sponsoring right now be about health and fitness, but show people that you're a normal person outside of Beachbody. And I know 2 years ago, Micah did a video about sorry, my kiddos are kind of sick. About the importance of the activities you need to show up for in December versus the ones, I think Casey needed a cough to chime in, the activities that you need to be showing up for in December that are non-negotiable compared to the ones that it's okay if you skimp out on a little bit. And those absolute non-negotiables you do not miss are your workout, your Shakeology, your personal development, and your posting. None of those things slip between the cracks. I know that things are crazy right now. I know that this is the last time of year that you're thinking, oh, I want to dedicate 12 hours a day to my business. Like, I get it. I promise. This is the time of year. So focus on those things, bare minimum. If you want to add on more, great. But make sure you do not disappear in your posting specifically. Facebook or Instagram, whichever platform you're using, is your storefront. So if you disappear for the next month because you're busy, and then all of a sudden you show up on December 26th flexing and telling people they should come buy from you where you haven't posted a workout picture since Halloween, nobody is going to come to you because that's salesy and that's gross and fake. You need to show up now. You need to show up that you're consistent now. You need to show that your store is open. Even if they're not coming, your store is open because that makes them come December 26th. So seriously, don't close your freaking store. Okay, what are some tips you guys have for balancing mom duties and coaching? And Raina, yes, as soon as you find your question, let me know. Okay, I'm definitely down for anybody else chiming in their tips about mom life and coaching. My top tip would be really intentional when you are trying to do coaching. I have found it is not very beneficial to try to do both at the same time. There's some times that I'll try and get stuff done. Hold on one second. Yes, honey. Yep, we're on there, huh? Yep, you're right. Obviously, trying to do both right now is not working the greatest. So this is a great example. It's very helpful if when you're doing coach stuff, you are super intentional. So if that means you don't have a solid hour, okay. If you don't have a solid hour to sit down and do your power hour, that is okay. You want to see? You want medicine? Okay, I'll get you some medicine in just a second. Okay, go get the syringe thing. Go get the syringe thing for me. Holy crap. Ideal example. Thank you, child. It's really helpful. If you have to do it in pockets, do it in pockets. Sometimes I sit down and I bust out all my adding friends because I have 10 minutes. And then I take an hour break. And then I come back and I hurry and bust through my connections in 20 minutes. And then I take a break. And then I come back and I bust through my invites. And then I'm done. So, and I do my PD while I'm in the shower or while I'm doing my makeup or while I'm making breakfast or while I'm unloading the dishwasher. It's not necessarily that I'm like, okay, for the next 3 hours, I'm going to devote that is not real. That is not real as a mom. Not real. So sometimes it's more that you're doing, Josh called it power pockets instead of power hour. And it's true. Sometimes you just have to work your business in pockets of time instead of dedicating certain blocks. But the goal is to be really intentional. When you're working on your business, work on your business. Do not sit and scroll your phone for 7 hours and tell yourself you're working, because that's going to piss off everyone in your house, including you, and you're going to feel like you're a slave to your phone. So power pockets is my tip.
I also think you have to find what works for you. Some people don't like to spread it out all day because it makes them feel like they're working. So if you need a dedicated hour, find somehow that is when you do it, whether it's when they are in bed napping, whether you get up in the morning and do it. If you want, one shot and you're done for the day, that's totally fine, but you've got to be intentional about that as well. And so planning that in your day is essential. So you have to find what works for you. So.
And Josh talked about how you also need to find your time of day that you're creative. And because I asked him this the other day on my mastermind call with him. I'm talking about Josh Coates, for those of you who are like, who is Josh? Okay, bring me out. So for me, I actually didn't know this. I'm not a morning person. I have a brand new baby. Morning is totally my creative time. But because it's my creative time, that is the worst time of day for me to do my power hour, because my brain is not thinking, okay, let's be really productive. My brain is thinking, let's think of ideas. Let's think of challenge groups I want to do next month. Let's think of challenges I want to do for my coaches next week. So that's a time for me to let my brain think and to write stuff down, not for me to be thinking, okay, brain, shut up. I don't want to be thinking about next month's challenge group. I'm trying to send invites for today's group. So that's another thing that's really important. Josh's time of day that he's creative is evenings, and that is the worst time of day for him to work because his brain is in creative mode and he can't make it shut down to get stuff done. So that's another thing you need to identify is when you've got like lots of ideas flowing, that is a bad time to try to bust out your power hour, because you're going to be distracted and be all over the place with really, really good ideas and really good content, but it's the wrong time of day because your creativity stuff is going.
Another plug for staying motivated when you're doing your power hour, and I am totally talking to myself when I say this, when you are building relationships with people and sending messages to them, do not respond to people until you're done with your power hour. Because if you spend the time, oh, this person messaged me back, or I commented on this person and they commented back, they replied, I should go look at it and like it or love it and then respond back. If you do that, your power hour will take you 7 hours, not 1, not 30 minutes, right? Get your crap done, focus on, just get it done, and then when you're finished, go back, respond to people, see if they liked or commented back, reply to it, whatever. Otherwise, your brain will be in, oh, wait, I just checked like 40 notifications and I just realized I was supposed to be sending a connection to this person, right? And then your brain will just be in every, then it will take forever and it will be really hard to get back into the zone. So I'm not perfect when I say that at all. I'm talking to myself, But do not respond to your messages. Do not look at your notifications. Just get your shiz done and then go back and reply to all that stuff.
I think
Go,
Sorry.
Sharon.
it makes you not seem so desperate either. If you're like right on top of it, like answering every question, like it comes off as desperate. And so it's not genuine. Not always. Sometimes it just works that you do, but I think that it gives you a chance to know how to respond correctly, and you're not like just trying to get that sell. It's less salesy, because I know if I get messages from other direct marketers, like MLM people, and they're like right on it, it's like you're just trying to meet your end of the month goal, like you don't want to do that. And I think that's why building relationships throughout the month is so important, because people know that you have a goal at the end of the month. If you're like pushing stuff on the last week, it's because they know you have a goal to hit and you're trying to meet your goal for the month. Don't do that. Like, do it throughout the month so that you're not those pushy salespeople that they've already got 15 other messages from all their other MLM people trying to hit their goal for the month, because that sends me nuts. So anyway.
Amen. And the other thing I was going to add that Bryn's saying that's reminded me, 5-second rule. How many times do we talk about 5-second rule? That book will change your life. One of the main things that you have to do with 5-second rule is you need to decide the time that you're done working. And even if you're not done, you stick to it and you walk away. So that also makes you be more consistent, because if you know that at 6 o'clock it's time for you to put your phone down for the night and you're not looking at your phone again until tomorrow because it's time for you to be with your family, then you are going to be really consistent, and you're going to be very intentional, because you know you have a time frame to get stuff done. And when that time comes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, phone goes away. And you have to decide when your closing time is, so that you don't get burnout and so that your family isn't frustrated and hating this business, because you have to know when to quit and when yeah.
I think too, that takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of, like, you have to teach yourself to do that. So just for an example, Micah is the most disciplined person I've ever met in my entire life, in every area of her life. She is so intentional, it's crazy. But that takes a lot of time and effort. That's something she's learned through her whole life. She was a gymnast. That's something that was instilled in her as a little kid. But like, my husband will do her hair. He cuts her hair when he goes to Idaho. And he even told me, he's like, seriously, when she's on her phone, she is not just sitting there scrolling. Like, he's like, she does a message, she puts it down. And then she'll like he can see her literally doing her power hour, and it's 100% like intentional the entire time he's sitting there. And how many times are we doing stuff like getting our hair done or sitting at the car dealership for our oil to be changed or something, and we just sit and scroll and we waste time. You have to learn that discipline, and that takes practice, and I need to work on that myself. So
amen. Okay, anybody else have anything? Excuse you, babe.
Mom, this is Buzz right here.
Yep. Anybody else have anything?
Raina's question was about the color.
Oh, the 12 aspects. I saw that second. Okay. Does anybody else? I can talk about the color wheel. So, Raina, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in terms of like how to think of them, is that kind of what you're thinking, or more in?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I guess just more about it.
Okay, so this is something that Ashley Smith came up with, that she talked about at Leadership for 5 stars and above in October in Las Vegas. And basically there's a little color wheel. If you want the blank color wheel, let me know. I have it saved to my phone so I can send it to you. But this is an area this is a way for you to figure out what makes you you. And when you talk on your social media, what areas of your life you're talking about. So this is, for example, I am an aunt, I'm a sister, but those are not parts of my color wheel. Those are not things that I regularly talk about. Those are things that make me me, but those are not things that I'm like, this is going to be part of my brand. I'm going to brand that I'm a sister. Like I brand that I'm a mom. I brand that I'm a wife, but I do not brand. Does that make sense? So these are 12 things that are part of your brand. So just to give you some of my examples, I'm a girl mom. I'm not just a mom. I'm a girl mom. I am addicted to Amazon Prime. It is becoming like an ongoing joke that when I post things on Facebook, when I'm wearing a new outfit, that people will say in the comments, and let me guess, you got it on Amazon. Because I buy like everything but toilet paper and Shakeology on Amazon. So I am addicted to getting deals. I post a lot of stuff about like things I find that were really on sale. I am pretty organized, and I am starting to get a little bit more into, I wouldn't say like interior decorating, but I am starting to have like a certain look in my house that's pretty organized and has everything blends. So I share a lot of that stuff about my house. I'm a girly girl. I like to do my hair. I like to do my makeup. I like jewelry. I like getting dressed. I very, very, very rarely just spend the day in my sweats. I may wear sweatpants, but I have a real shirt on, I have a real bra on, and I have my hair and makeup done. I am not a girl who sits around all day in her sweats. That's not me.
She's not me, because that's what I do. That is my brand.
I'm wearing a bra, and I have makeup on.
Hot right here.
I'm very positive. And I was on suicide watch 8 years ago. So positive is a big part of my brand, with me talking about how I overcame depression without me saying I was depressed. Because when I was saying I was depressed, I was attracting the wrong people. So I talk a lot about positivity. I talk a lot about books and like PD, Harry Potter. I'm a big Harry Potter person. I talk about my religion. I talk about my husband. And I talk about Dave Ramsey because I'm a big Dave Ramsey fangirl. And I'm a humongous BYU fan. So those are some of the things that in my color wheel. Those are things that if you watch my Insta stories for 48 hours, you are going to see at least 7 or 8 of those, if not 10 to 12. Those are things that I talk about every single day that make me me. Those are parts of my brand that I really capitalize on, that help me figure out who my niche, who my target is. And Ashley Smith, here, I'll kind of show you. So this is mine like filled out. It's a color wheel, and then I stuck my things on there. Ashley Smith has a blank one. So that I have it on my phone that Ashley Smith created. If you want the blank one, let me know and I will text it to you or Facebook you. And then I just use like Photofy. You can use WordSwag, whatever app you want, go in and edit and customize it so that you've got your 12 things that are things you want to talk about, that are things if you attract someone who has that trait, you will be happy about it. So I would never put on there that I struggle with anxiety, even though I don't struggle with anxiety anymore. I used to, but I would never put that on there because I don't want people who are struggling with anxiety currently, who are going to be energy vampires. That's not what I'm looking for. If they do have anxiety, that's fine. And that can be something that attracts me to them, but there needs to be way more than just that, so that they're not dragging me down. So that's the thing you need to be careful of with parts of your story, is if you are talking about vulnerable parts of your story. There are people who talk about like how they went bankrupt. I know that some coaches, that's part of their story, some top coaches I followed. You have to be very careful of talking about things like that, or you will attract people who have no money, who are bankrupt, but they want to become millionaires overnight and won't invest in the challenge pack. So you have to be careful about how you're branding that. So
I think a good way to tell that too is if there is something that someone sees at a store or on Facebook that reminds them of you, they'll send it to you. So like for me, Disneyland is a huge part of my life. Anything Disney, I get people sending me Disney stuff all the time. I love Michael Jackson, same thing. People send me Michael Jackson stuff all the time. And so if there is something like that that kind of stands out, that other people are going to send you things because, hey, this reminded me of you, that's a good thing to put on your color wheel. Also, to go along with that, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, those are also great ways to create your free groups, topics on your free groups, things that you're interested in. So Like Ashley's done a lot of hers around her religion, and that's a huge part for her. So those are just other ways of finding ideas to create value to people. And Ashley, do you want to just put that color wheel into our team boss thread, and then we can just distribute it?
Yep, that would most assuredly be the easiest way to do it.
Yep.
Jake and I talk about this regularly. I think of the most complicated way to accomplish something, and then other people think, do you want to just do this? It might help. That would most assuredly be the easiest way to distribute that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else? Oh, how do you balance Instagram and Facebook Power Hour?
It depends how aggressively you want to build. If you want to spend an hour on each, you totally can. Ashley Smith does not just work her business for 1 hour. She does the exact same activities we do. She just does them on steroids. So if you want your business to be on steroids, you do your connections and your invites and you're adding to your network on steroids. And those are the only things you spend more time on. When your business starts growing, those are still the things you focus on. So if you want your Success Club numbers to go up, if you want your recruiting to go up, if you want those things to go up, you do more connections, more adding to your network, more invites. That's it. So
I also think it has to depend on what's working for you. If Instagram is absolutely not working for you, don't spend as much time on it. You still want to build it and you still want to try new things. You can't do the same thing over and over and over. You have to keep changing it up because Facebook, any social media tool is changing every single day. So if it's not working, try something new the next day, but spend your time mostly on what's working for you, and then what's not, still spend time on it, but not as much. That's my 2 cents on that. But I probably get more interactions on Instagram than I do on Facebook right now.
I was just going to say, I think Sharon's better at Instagram. And I am totally better at Facebook. So
I'm like a picture, like part of me too, even before I was ever a coach, I share the crap out of my pictures because that's my journal. That's a way I do chat books. It's a way to remember things for my kids. And I'm paranoid that my phone's going to die and I'm going to lose everything. So I just post everything on there. But so I think it just depends on your niche too. Like for me, Instagram is more of the type of people that I connect with because it's more positive. It's just pictures. It's sharing your life in a different way. But I also get a lot on Facebook too. So it just depends on you and your personality and what you're attracting. So anything else? Let's see. Anything? If not, we will let you go.
hey, as you guys are going through the next couple weeks, if you think of things that you're like, I am struggling so bad with this, that's where we got all of the content for today's call, is stuff that we're hearing from our coaches. So as you're struggling, please make sure to reach out to your coach and tell them so that we can make sure we're covering that stuff in team calls. So next team call will be in 2 weeks, same time. It'll be the Monday before Christmas. And then we'll probably still do one on New Year's Eve, right? Because no one's super busy on New Year's Eve at noon. It's New Year's Eve at night that gets crazy, right?
It just depends, I think.
New Year's Day. That Monday is New Year's Day.
Oh, that's right, because the Eve is Sunday. You're right. So, yeah, we may end up moving that call that week because New Year's Day might be a little cray-cray, but we'll see. But so plan on 2 weeks. If you have areas you're struggling with, make sure you reach out to your coach, and I'll send that color wheel out to everybody so it can get passed around, and then maybe we'll make that the homework. If you've already filled out your color wheel, send it to your coach. But there's stuff on my color wheel that I want to take off and I want to add new things that I'm realizing are things I talk about every day that need to be on my color wheel.
Oh.
People start tagging me in mugs that they're like, this reminded me of you. That needs to go on your color wheel. If people are tagging you, like Sharon said, if people are tagging you in things that remind them of you or you of them, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, that on your wheel. So today's assignment, you need to fill out the wheel with your 12 things, and then these are 12 things you're going to talk about at least every other day. They will come up either on your Facebook, your Instagram, or your Instagram. These need to be things you talk about a lot. So like I said, I'm an aunt. That's not going to come up every other day in my stories. So that's not something in my color. Even something I am, it's not going to come up often. So Send your coach your wheel within the next 24 hours. Let's make that your Monday homework assignment. And listen to today's National Wake Up Call if you haven't already about how to capitalize on ADD obsession now rather than in a month when it actually comes out. Capiche? Hey, you guys are fabulous. I'll send that wheel out.